Some people receive tough laws, fines and the prospect of ending up in a pre-trial detention center. Others get complete freedom of action. Amid the ongoing repression of those who do not agree with the Kremlin's policies, those close to the military political elite of Russia are ignoring the laws. After a video appeared in which the 15-year-old son of Ramzan Kadyrov beat 19-year-old Nikita Zhuravel for burning the Koran, the investigative committee of the Russian Federation opened a criminal case against the victim for insulting the feelings of believers. Apparently, Ramzan Kadyrov's justification for his own son's actions is the best argument for Russian law enforcement officers.
It shows whose side the power is on. For beating this person in a pre-trial detention center or wherever, they will not receive anything, nothing will happen to them. They show a new attitude, methods that will guide them in resolving issues, and judging by the lack of reaction from the official Russian authorities, they in principle welcome this.
The video of Nikita Zhuravel burning the Koran was filmed in Volgograd. However, the man will be tried in Chechnya. The authorities motivated this by the fact that the largest number of people who were outraged by the video live there.
Ramzan Kadyrov continues to test the extent to which he can adapt the federal government to himself. He understands perfectly well that things are not going very well with the federal center, and he needs Kadyrov. And Ramzan Akhmatovich does what he has always done. He checks how far he can go in certain of his actions. And we can congratulate him. He won. Perhaps we are witnessing the emergence of a new fashion, and the beating of disliked will soon be seen on the internet in all regions, and nothing will happen to no one for that. Sergei Babinets, human rights activist, in an interview with Radio Liberty.
At the same time, the Kadyrov family not only escaped punishment for beating and justifying violence, but also received tacit approval of their actions from the Kremlin. Vladimir Putin met with the head of Chechnya a few days after the incident. According to Kadyrov, the Kremlin dictator approved the idea of building a mosque on the outskirts of Moscow in the Yuzhnaya Butovo district on a street named after Ramzan Kadyrov's father.
Kadyrov is a henchman from the times of Ivan the Terrible in its purest form, which has no laws. It serves exclusively the Russian throne, in this case Putin, and it is ready to do all this dirty work for Putin in exchange, of course for the resources that this family receives in order to show who's the boss.
Experts warn that Putin's attitude towards the Kadyrov family may result in a decrease in the level of support among ethnic Russians for himself. The inaction of the Russian authorities in this case greatly affects their authority within the country.
The only problem is that this time the head of Chechnya created a serious problem for Putin. No matter how idiotic the Volgograd resident who burned the Koran may be, he is still an ethnic Russian, and now it turns out that Putin is ready to give a Russian to be devoured by the Chechens. Naturally, the majority of Russians will not like this very much, and even more so for the Russian patriots, those who form the backbone of the war support group. It is to the very core of them. Abbas Galamov, political scientist on Telegram.
In addition, friendship with dictators such as Putin is unreliable and short-lived, experts remind. Therefore, Ramzan Kadyrov's star can set at any moment. An example of this is Yevgeny Prigozhin, who was close to the Kremlin dictator for decades. After an attempt to march on Moscow, Putin's chef was punished with the highest possible punishment. Reported by Dana Kolesnik, Larissa Zubenko, UATV News.